Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love. So before I get started, I already know what y'all gonna say, so let me go ahead and show y'all what the shirt hitting for. There it go, cause y'all know y'all not gonna see it because I'm gonna be sitting up. And I have me some red raspberry tea on hand, and it's delicious as always. So yeah, I'm ready. Let's get started. Uh, The episode started where it left off, which is in a place where it should have ended last time because it was not, there was no need for this. There was no reason for them to have a uh, dramatic drawing out of the who was getting sent home. And I was just like, why? You could have said that within 3 to 5 seconds last time. It was not that deep. What I didn't like was that the person that they sent home was AP. They sent AP home and she's confused and she doesn't want to get emotional about it. She's in the confessional and it's just like the reasons that they gave were so stupid. That's why when they were in the confessional, when they showed it last week, I was like, okay, this is so dumb. Like, how you gonna get mad at somebody for telling you about who they are and why they are now in this journey and explaining to you why they now are ready to love? This woman was happily married to someone who passed away, unfortunately. So how you gonna hold that against her while you are in a getting to know somebody stage of the game and they are simply telling you, hey, this is my name. I was married. It wasn't a situation like most of y'all are dealing with, which is that y'all was with somebody, y'all got divorced for one reason or another. Mine passed away. I was happy, I was fulfilled, it was fine. And, I took 5 years to grieve and to heal and all of that. And now I'm ready for love. I don't understand what was so terrible about that. Like, they really, to me, I felt like they were trying to equate what some people do when they've been in terrible marriages or relationships and it ended and it was an ex. And it was like, they might be trying to date or whatever, and then all they do is talk about that ex to them all the time. Everything is the ex. Every single thing they say is the ex. I would understand if that's what she was doing, but it's not. They really tried to make it seem like every time everybody had a date with her, the whole hour or however long they're sitting there with her, it was just strictly all about her talking about the ex. Like, oh. Like I don't like that. And the dating pool is trash. So she dodged a bullet. Most of the people there are not ready to love anyway and are on some foolishness. And I'll get into that later on, even though y'all know what I'm going to say about it. So anyway, after that was over with and they sent her home, and they really should have sent Precious home a long time ago because she has issues um, that stem beyond the show that need to be sorted out because it's just too much going on. Eric was going to be cooking some food. They were going to eat. So they ended up having a nice spread and everybody getting their plate and they eating. And then Clifton goes and makes a plate for Carmen. Don't understand how, I still don't understand how Clifton went from he ain't here for this heifer at all from the time she hit the door to now every time you look up, now that's like one of the top two people that he's dealing with and he here for. And I'm like, I just think it's sexual. I think it's sexual and that's it. You was not here for her before, especially when she had the blue contacts in. So why are you trying to act like you're here for her now? Almost all of y'all are there for sex. They have sites for that. They have groups for that. They literally have like legit stuff set aside for that. And all of y'all, almost all of y'all, that is all y'all are there for. Y'all did not have to come on this show for that. I'm ready for when they actually are going to have a cast that is ready to love, where the entire cast is actually ready to love. I don't see it. Anyway, I'm sorry I had to say that right then and there, but it's just been getting on my nerves because it's just like, at least y'all showing y'all true colors earlier on in the season. Because some of these people will have you fooled and then you get to the last episode or you get to the reunion or halfway through the season and you like, what is this about? Like, we thought you was here for love. No, they here because they trash. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. A lot of them will really be looking for sex and I'm like, you can find that on the street. Anyway, so he made her a plate and brought it to her. So she sat at the table and waited for him to come back and was like, well, I waited on you since you made my plate for me. And he was like, oh, okay. So then, while everybody is eating, Laverne decides that he wants to play a game of truth or dare. Everybody was like, all right, cool. It might be messy, but whatever. So they're right there. And so he was like, well, since you next to me, he asked the newest woman who entered into the game, Christina, to go if she wants to dare, which she did. She agreed to a dare. Asked her to go over to the man that she's the most interested in. She walked up to Paul and put her hands on his chest. Girl, bye. I don't understand what anybody on this show who has ever been living for him and had him in the top 1 or 2 spots are looking at. I don't understand what they're listening to. It is not making sense. I really feel like this is a situation that I've seen a couple of seasons ago where nobody was here for this person, but the dating pool is so trash that they just like, oh, well, I'm here for him, I guess. And I'm just like, child, Tommy said what he said about him and Laverne for a reason. He even see the foolishness that they own, but y'all keep keeping them around. So I don't want to hear them when the reunion come back on, and then y'all try to play him. Then that's what's gonna trip me out. When the reunion come back, I'm already looking ahead because I know it's gonna be some foolishness. But anyway, so then she did hers. Then the next person up was Joy, and so she said, "I'll accept a dare." They dared her to go and kiss the person who she has the best connection with. She ran happily over to Clifton. Clifton, it's like he knew. It's like he knew what was finna go on. He was like, let me take a sip of my drink. Barely took the sip and was taking the cup from his lips. And she was right there. I was like, child. Then Carmen, of course, they gonna show her in the confessional talking about some really. He just made me a plate, and then here she comes over here disturbing this, like she coming out of nowhere like that. Girl, he made you a plate of food. He fixed your plate on. It is not that deep. It is not that deep. So somebody ended up asking her, if she has a genuine connection with anybody, do people have genuine connections and all that other stuff? And she said she has a genuine connection with someone or someones. Woo, child. It got spicy when Sabrina accepted a dare and she was dared to go and nibble on the ear of her strongest connection. Everybody thought it was Tori. Everybody. This heifer went over to Demetrius and nibbled on his ear. And it was like, and I mean, it was crazy because before she even did it, everybody was like, man, come on over here, Tori. Everybody just knew. And she went over to Demetrius. And y'all, I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it's just because he just has this mysteriousness about him or whatever. I don't understand her appeal. Like, he ain't no ugly man or nothing like that, but he just, it seemed like it's like she's drawn to the mysteriousness. I guess that's what it is. But I'll get into that later on because it's gonna make me upset a little bit because I don't like that. Because I like Tori. Tori is fine to me. And he seems like he's very intentional. He really seems like he's being genuine. And has been being genuine with her. And you could tell that the chemistry is definitely there. So it's like, what is going on? Child, they dared him to go over and kiss, I think, what's her name? Ace asked the question to him and was like, do you want to do a dare or truth or whatever? He was like, dare. And she was like, I dare you to go over to your top person and then you'll kiss them wherever you want to kiss them. He went over to Sabrina and kissed her on the lips. I was like, child. Tori was tired of his spirit. He got up from the table. I was like, come on now. I can't. It's too much going on. It is too much going on. And look, y'all, I'm being messy a little bit, but not really. Did y'all pause the TV? Because I'm about to try to pause now. Did y'all pause it to see if Tori was right there when the toast happened? Because I don't know if he there. I don't see him. I feel like he's not there. And if he is, he off in the back. Was Tori there when Demetrius led the toast? Oh, okay. I just wanted to know if y'all saw it. Let me know if y'all saw it, and I didn't. So then there was a little situation that was set up by, what's her name? Joy and Precious. And it was with Wiley, Clifton, and Demetrius. And so it's like a physical activity. In all honesty, it's something that I would do. And they said they've never done it before. I would legit do something like this. And they had to like get hooked to harnesses and all this stuff. It's kind of like Wipeout, I guess you could say. That's the best way that I could, like, if I'm giving anybody a visual who doesn't watch the show, but y'all just want to support me and watch me and hear what I'm talking about, that's somewhat of the visual that I can give you. So anyway, Precious is there and she's trying to like talk to the folks, and Demetrius ain't really trying to hear what she's saying because a part of him doesn't believe, or he is not sure as to whether or not she's doing damage control, because he was turned off by her when they were doing the little barbecue pool situation and she got drunk, tipsy, whatever she want to call it, and wasn't nobody here for her. Paul used to be here for her. He was done after that. And I'm just like, child. And then like nobody is here for Wiley. They love talking about his age. And I'm like, I don't feel like it's his age. He 30 something. He might be the youngest one now, but that's the one person that I can tell that's ready to love. And it's like, if y'all can get past his age, and as long as he ain't out here thotting and bopping and doing some of the things that his father was singing about in his songs, then I understand. Like, I would understand that. But yeah, I respect what Joy said, which was that he's giving off a vibe where he seems like he is interested. He's great at flirting, but whenever she talks to him, it's like he has something that he wants to say, but he won't say it. It's like it comes off like he might be scared to say it. And so I'm like, yeah, I see that. Because he's not an ugly person, the body look nice, all of that. So he's just not giving the ladies enough. So I'm like, child, and then it's like I understand you want to take your time to get to know people or whatever, but this is a process. This ain't but a couple of weeks, child. So you gotta do what you gotta do. So then we saw they keep showing Precious having old moments with Demetrius and the guys or whatever. But he is not here for her. It's so hilarious. I can't wait till I get to the end to tell y'all some more stuff. But anyway, they just, the two ladies, they just went between the guys and they were talking. You know, of course, Clifton and Joy had their moments, and she didn't want any help to get across the like obstacle course or whatever you want to call it. Like, it was cool. It is what it is. The date looks fine. Wiley was kind of feeling some type of way because had he known that was that type of activity, he would have worn like some shorts or something. But he had on these kind of tight pants, child. Anyway, Sabrina ended up asking Tori to come and link up with her. So they were going to have lunch, dinner, or whatever. And they greeted one another and they got right into it because she wanted to know how he was feeling. And he did feel some type of way because he was like, I didn't know you liked him like that. And so I felt blindsided. And she was like, well, I don't see myself coming to you and telling you, oh, okay, well, my, feelings for him have grown. So, you might want to be on the lookout or anything like that. But yeah, he ain't here for it. And he was just like, I'm very intentional. I know what I want. And, I really thought that we were better than that. I thought our connection was way stronger than that. You could tell he's hurt. You can tell he's hurt. Because, like I said, everybody was at that table and just knew that she was going to roll right up to Tori. Dimitri, I don't understand what we're not seeing. But apparently, the cast ain't seeing it either. As far as her connection with Demetrius. Because for her to roll up, they was like, what's going on right here? So, yeah. He's just like, look, I know what I want. I just want the communication to be what it needs to be. And so she was like, yeah, we can do that. But are you trying to say that you don't want to pursue me anymore? Because I would like to know that. And it's like, I kind of feel like, girl, the way that he was blindsided, y'all know how I get when I say it. It's like you asking for this transparency. You could have said to him a few things or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let him know that there are, of course he knows there are people in the race. He knows there are people who would want her. Like, look at her. She is gorgeous. And she ain't one of them people that gotta do the most. She ain't gotta put on these outfits, and she ain't gotta be like, let me put the girls up and let me do this and let me do that. Like the heifer that's coming up in the next scene did. Carmen, she was like, oh, well, I ain't never been out with Paul, but I don't know him like that. So let me put this outfit on, and I want to make sure I make a statement. So of course, as soon as she walked in the door, his face spoke everything that he was thinking. And so, child, to me, it was basically sexual again, no matter what they was talking about, and they really was trying to make it seem like they was here for one another. He offered her his pickle, and then she had to ask him, like, are you gonna feed it to me? He was like, I can. Y'all, I can't. She's used to a man knowing what she wants, and she's into romance, so she says, but I can't tell by all the sexual energy that she's just always displaying to whoever she's talking to. When she has some sort of an interest for them. But anyway, then we see another date happening, that they're showing us at the same time, crossing over between Christina and Donovan, who are the actual two new people, the two newest people that are part of the cast. Their date is going well. They both have kids that are Geminis. Like, he has a daughter, she has a daughter. I forgot how many kids he had. He might have said he had two, but she definitely has a 2-year-old, but they just so happen to be Geminis. So they had amazing chemistry as far as I was concerned. They seemed like they meshed very well, and she was basically telling him like what she's looking for in a man, and like it was dope. It was a dope like first like real interaction with one another. And like I said before, Carmen and Paul, they were just there, and it was just like her looking how she looking, and he was like, oh, she has that way of looking at a person that'll make you want to hand over the wallet, hand over the keys, put her name on the deed and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, that's the woman who gonna swindle you. That's the Tinder swindler, baby. Yeah, that's how a lot of dudes get got. That's how a lot of y'all dumb men get got by these Insta heifers. And I'm here for it. Clean them out, sis. Clean dummies like this out. But anyway, let me calm down. Let me calm down. But yeah, so then we end up seeing I don't know if it was, I think everybody. Christina set up a situation where everybody met up at the lounge, and they got a little dressed up and they were drinking and mingling and things. Child, they showed Paul and Christina talking to one another. And he talking about she looking good in some dress she had on and all this other stuff. I'm just like, child, what are y'all seeing? I don't understand what y'all seeing. After Tori has been blindsided by the situation that happened between he and Sabrina, he was just like, let me just open myself up a little bit more, because I thought I made it transparent that I was really here for Sabrina, but, let me just work through everybody and do what I need to do, because it's apparent that she is doing what she want to do. Let me see if somebody else is out here. I don't want to sell my own self short. And I'm glad that he thought about that, because, yeah. So he started talking to Dakia. I'm here for it. I think Tori is fine. So, and he seems like, he actually, to me, unless he's putting up a front, he seems like another person who's actually here to love. So hopefully he'll be okay. Hopefully this experience does not create any type of bitterness, negativity within him, because stuff like that can make people just be like, you know what? No. People like him, there are men like him who need to be out here. That'll give women like me hope that there are decent men in the world. Because he seems like he really would be that guy who would try his best, even if you're a person like me who requires very little to keep me happy. I feel like he would do that and go above and beyond, because he sees that you're being loyal and that you love them and you're reciprocating that. So yeah. But yeah, they talking and I'm here for it. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, they talking. So then they showing Paul and Christina, and she's talking about she loves an aggressive man. I'm like, girl, you gonna learn. That's all I'm gonna say. There are levels to the aggressiveness, because a lot of these people, these women be like, oh, I love an aggressive man. Oh, I love an assertive man. But then they end up being a narcissistic piece of trash. But then it's like, oh, you didn't see that. You didn't see what we saw. You don't see what I'm seeing in Paul right now, because he has these moments where I just be like, child, what is y'all looking at? So yeah, Christina had a moment where she was talking to Laverne, and she's like, you know, he looks nice. Like, I keep trying to tell y'all, he look nice, but it's something ain't right. Something ain't right about him. I don't know what it is. And every now and again, he be having these moments where if he likes how a woman looks, he's just like that man that was on there some seasons back to my I like who like me. He give me them vibes. I don't know why. And like he really, it's like I can't tell who he like that. Like until he actually vocalized the fact that he is here for Ace. That's the only reason why I know that that's his top choice or whatever. But yeah, he just be doing the most. And like she was like, we didn't even really get a chance to dive deeper into anything because it was just all about him. And I'm like, y'all supposed to be getting to know one another, not just you dumping who you are now. If she had said, just tell me all about you, just within 2 minutes, tell me like all the stuff I need to get to know about you, or 5 minutes, or whatever. She was just doing the most. He was just doing the most. She is not here for him. So then we end up seeing the ladies' lounge, and everybody was expressing who they like. Some people were side-eyeing because they liking the same person. I was side-eyeing because I was just like, why are any of y'all have us the slightest bit interested in Paul? But go off. Child, it was just too much. Yeah. And like I said before, everybody was looking like even like look, y'all, even Tommy was like, oh, okay, we know who that is. And everybody was like, no. She ran over to Demetrius. And so he looking like what? Like everybody thought that her number one choice was Tori. It was so random. Like that's what threw everybody off. Child. I just can't. I can't do it. Yeah. People really trying to play Wiley yet again. And they're just talking about his age and they don't feel like he has matured enough and all of that. And I'm just like, child. So he's in the bottom two and Laverne is in the bottom two. And I'm just like, Laverne should have been home. Ever since the first episode where he just sat off in the distance and the heifers literally had to line up and just said, oh, I ain't spoke to him yet. And they just didn't think about the fact that he wasn't trying to chase a little bit. Like it could be some give and take. Now, I don't mind. I would not mind coming to a person every now and again. But you're not going to sit up here and make it so I got to come to you all the time. Like you tried it. Like he really makes the situation like, oh, you got to roll up on me. And he's done that more than once. And I'm just like, child, Precious met up with him and was it Dakia? Yeah, Dakia met up with Wiley. So Dakia, the way that she approached the situation was she wanted to give him pointers on what he needs to do, what he needs to work on. And Precious was trying to talk to him and he was already on the defensive. Like he had already started leaning like that. He was already like, all right, if I'm going home, whatever. Like that's the way he was looking. Like his body language was already off once he realized that they had their ladies lounge situation. So and then he was just like, look, I said what I said. It's not that, you know, I'm any type of way. It's just I don't trust most of y'all. Once I trust y'all, then I'll open up to people. Precious was trying to tell him that that's a fear. And he was just not trying to hear. He was like, yeah, I am who I am. He's giving very much Paul vibes too. But I was like, child, it is what it is. But y'all really are getting what y'all going to get from him. He fine. We ain't gonna never try to sit up here and make it seem like he ain't no nice looking man. He is a nice looking man, but it's something wrong. When he opened that mouth and started speaking most of the time, I just be like, what is red flag as soon as he started talking. But yeah, they ended up sending Wiley home. I was just like, man, come on now. That's some foolishness. I really hope that in the preview that we saw, that Tori is not gonna have no dealings with Precious like that. Look like they kissed, and I'm like, child, please don't get caught up in that web of foolishness. Please don't do that. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. That was the recap review for Ready to Love. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Give this video a thumbs up. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss this foolishness.